All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a Smackdown review for March 17, 2023. Pretty solid show with all the Bloodline stuff. We had about two or three segments, the Bloodline, two in the ring, I think one or two in the back. What else was there? You had Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Winner is gonna face Gunther at WrestleMania. Didn't get a clear-cut winner. So it was turned into a triple threat, and then Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, I thought had a good segment. Finally, something other than the bloodline. It's getting interesting, I guess. Because outside this build for the bloodline stuff with Roman and Cody and Usos versus Zayn and Owens, it's gonna be now. The build has been pretty much just shit. So at least they did that. That was good. And it was a good segment with Charlotte and Rhea. All right, so show starts off. Cody Rhodes comes out. He says tempers are high. I respect Roman. I look forward to beating Roman at WrestleMania. And he calls out Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes says this is not a conversation between two people. So Sami Zayn comes out. So Cody Rhodes is pretty much like the ref between these guys, or the mediator, or whatever you want to call it. Cody says KO bettered my life or bettered my livelihood 67 years ago when I got released from WWE. KO says he's heard everything Sammy has to say. Sammy says, we've done unspeakable things to each other. Do whatever we have to do. Get this out of your system. We can work together. He can scream at me, punch me in the face. Cody says, everyone wants to see you on the same page. And Sammy says, we can be the ones who bring down the ones. KO says, why would I want to fight for someone who doesn't want to be my friend? And then there's a segment in the back after the commercial. Looks like KO's about to leave in his car, leave the arena. And then Sami Zayn gets to him. He says, we're brothers, and tells him he loves him. And then KO gets in his car and drives off in the parking lot. Pretty good stuff to open the show, leading to the ending segment. All right, next up we got Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley versus Selena Vega and Santos Escobar. Santos hit a drop kick, and then there was a midair collision between Santos and Dom. Selena Vega hit a DDT on Rhea Ripley. Dominic broke up the pin. And then Zelina Vega hit a Hurricane Rana on Dominic. And then Rhea hit the Riptide on Zelina Vega for the win. After the match, Dominic and Rhea are in the ring. Dominic starts talking shit again, that deadbeat father, all that shit again. So Ray pops up on the screen. He shows him walking to the arena. And then after the commercial, Ray comes out. Dom says, you're so selfish to take away my WrestleMania moment. Ray says he hasn't been the best father. He still loves Dom. And he says, you'll find out this business is selfish. Every time you got in trouble, the Mysterio name bailed you out. He would love to have Dom by his side on that stage. When he gets inducted, my biggest regret, he says, is what you have become. Fighting you would be the biggest disgrace as a father. He won't fight him ever. Shit, ever gonna fight him? So that was it for that. Then we had Liv Morgan and Raquel. They beat Tegan Knox and Emma in a match. It was a qualifier for a fatal four-way match at WrestleMania. Kind of pointless while they're doing a random match. All right, next up we got Charlotte Flair. She comes out and she says the more things change, the more they stay the same. This is her seventh WrestleMania, whether it is as the challenger or champion. She has always been the star. Rhea, she said Ripley wants to be the star. She can't be the star until she becomes champion, and in order to do that, Rhea has to beat her. She couldn't beat me 3 years ago, and she still can't do it today. And then Rhea and Dom come out. Dom backs into the corner, so Rhea can confront Charlotte. She says Flair is 100% right. And says she chose Flair over Bianca for a reason. She says all the men and women in the locker room turn away from her because they all fear her. She says Flair is the exception to that, and says Flair is staring her down without an ounce of fear. And the fact that Flair isn't scared of her pisses her off. Rhea says she needs the SmackDown Women's Championship because she needs to be a star. And then Flair will not only learn to call her champion, but fear her once WrestleMania is over. And then Dom starts talking smack, and then they brawl for a few minutes. Like all the security referees and all this shit came out. So thought this was good. This was better than their segment from a few weeks ago. They were hyping up their confrontation. This wasn't even hyped tonight or promoted. This is way better than before. I think it was 2, 3 weeks ago they had their face-to-face segment. All right, next up we got a segment in the back with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn says one guy considered me his brother, drove off in the parking lot. Another guy considered me a brother, is probably waiting to take me out once I step foot in that ring. Enough people tell you that you're the problem, you start to believe it. Jay wants me in the ring. If I brought this on myself, then it's time. Then it's time for me to handle this by myself. Jay wants me to pull up, then it's time for me to pull up. And then next up we got Xavier Woods versus LA Knight. Xavier Woods beats him with the roll up or whatever inside cradle. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're having so LA Knights now lost both New Day members and fucking aren't you supposed to be building a new star? You keep fucking losing. He's over with the crowd. They're all doing that. Let me talk to you. Yeah. So his catchphrases are over with the crowd, but he keeps fucking losing. All right. Next up, we got Sheamus versus Drew. The winner gets the #1 contender or gets a title shot at Gunther at WrestleMania. #1 contenders match. Before the match starts, Imperium comes out. They're just chilling at ringside near the announce table. Sheamus hit a clothesline, and then he hit a Irish Curse backbreaker. Drew landed a superplex. Sheamus did the 10 beats of the Baldwin, and then Drew hit a neck breaker. Drew was going for the Claymore, and Sheamus countered with a knee to the face. I think he was trying to do the bro kick, but he got the knee up. He got a 2 count with that. And then both guys hit the big boots on each other. Ref's about to count to 10, and at this point, Gunther fucking gets in the ring. He tells one to get up or whatever. And then they both get up, and then Imperium attacks him from behind. And then, so they're about to leave. Adam Pearce pops up on the Titantron. Adam Pearce says it's going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. Pretty obvious this is going to be the match for the IC title. So it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC title. Sheamus should win. He's never been IC champion, and yeah. So Gunther, I don't know, maybe he'll continue to feud with Sheamus after he loses the IC title. We'll see. All right, next up we got the Kansas City Showdown with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. Sami says, "How do you want to do this?" Jay says, "From day one, I didn't like you. I didn't trust you, Uso. When I put my guard down, Uso, you betrayed me. From day one, you've been a fake ass Uso." Oh shit, he called him that again. Sami says, you choose to take Roman Reigns' abuse over and over. He says he loved the family. He says, I don't think you're mad at me. I think you're mad at yourself. Got a good reaction from the crowd. And then he says, you're not mad that I hit Roman Reigns with the steel chair. You're just mad that you didn't get to do it first. Oh, man. He got him. Hit him with the soul with that one. Crowd pop for that. And then this is where, at this point, Jay and Sami just punching each other and brawling. Jimmy comes out to help Jay. Usos attack Sami with steel steps. And then Kevin Owens comes out. And they beat up Usos. And then crowd starts chanting, hug it out, hug it out. And then they finally hug it out and it gets a monster pop. So, yeah. Going to be KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos for the tag titles. Most likely KO and Sami Zayn are going to win the tag titles. We start to see crumbling of the bloodline. And We'll see if Roman Reigns retains against Cody Rhodes. He should get to 1,000 days, but we never know. Probably won't. And then yeah, so that was it for SmackDown. So pretty solid SmackDown. See ya.